What's going on? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Jenny Somervet here with a series of videos from TikTok. As you read in the title, you can see in the thumbnail, we have this lovely young lady who's also in the army, and she got demoted. So she was an E4 specialist. She got demoted down to an E1 private for stupid activities that she's done in the military, disrespecting the officers, disrespecting, NCOs, sergeants, disrespecting the uniform, and she doesn't care. She continues to do it. And she's going to admit that, she doesn't get paid, but she still gets money through social media because that's what the soldiers do these days. They don't care about joining the military for honor, duty, selfless service. They join just to use the uniform as a platform to make money, and then they'll get out and just do whatever the hell they want. Whether it's OnlyFans or OF, using it for whatever activities, whether for TikTok, whether it's using the merchandise to sell other merchandise, outside of the social media platform. So without further ado, let's get into it. That's a copyright. You're saying you should be embarrassed, see? Let's pause it. Me and my pretty pink apartment with no dependents, bills on auto pay, debt free, selling cute, girly pink army merch because the hustle don't stop. So she's not getting paid because her receiving field grade Article 15s, being restricted to duty, no pay dues and stuff like that. So she just took it upon herself to, I'm just going to make my own money, do whatever the hell I want. She lives off post. She's a private. She's not supposed to have an apartment whatsoever anyway, because she has a barracks room, which for soldiers, E1 through E4, they're supposed to live in the barracks. Unless you're married, then you can live off post because you have dependents, wife and children. But she doesn't want to live in the barracks because she doesn't have privacy. So she brings all her mentality and things she learned outside the military into the military and is getting her in trouble. And she couldn't care less. There are a lot of soldiers like this right now in the military, in the Army, Air Force, Navy, all the branches that do what they want to do. And they don't want to listen to nobody. And that's what's making the military a joke right now. And these are the same type of soldiers that if we were to go to war, when everybody has to blow down range, they're going to be the ones that's going to cause people to get injured or even killed for their carelessness and their selfishness attitude. But as you can see, she doesn't care. It's all about making money just to get out. And then you got other people that look at people like her, like, oh shit, I'm just joining the military. I can do whatever hell I want. Ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. A drill sergeant better not jump in my face. Sergeant better not come at me like that. I'm a fucking hit. That's their attitude. Back in the day when I came in, there was a sense of pride, sense of honor, duty, respect, selfless service when you join the military, to put on a uniform because, others came before you to do the same exact thing. My family members way back in the day, there's always been someone in the military through each branch, through each generation. And today's, generation, they don't care. They just do whatever the hell they want. They it boggles my mind. It hurts my just to see the uniform being used in such a way that's disrespecting to those who wore, those who died in it, those who risked their lives for her to be able to do shit like this. But yeah, that's the attitude. And then again, certain younger generation, like black folks, they look at, oh, why am I a hater? Why am I this? Why am I that? It's a disconnect from my generation to where there's a sense of pride to this generation that's currently in. I just don't care. Same thing like twerking in public. They don't care what people think. Showing up to job interviews with bonnets and do-rags. They don't care. When you point it out, like, why are you talking about me? Mind your business. That's the attitude that we have. But yeah, that's pretty much what she is right now.
I haven't gotten paid since January 15th. I'm E1. I have my own apartment.
See, she's an E1, so she got busted down. She's a fuzzy or a slick sleeve, depending on the area you came in the military. She got field grade Article 15, so loss of all pay, loss of all rank. Normally you get restricted to duty, you get extra duty, and all this other bullshit that comes along with it. But her way of getting out of restriction and extra duty is because she's got psychological issues and she's on profile. We call it a dead man's profile. So one of her videos, she says that she can't stand up more than 30 minutes. But as you see, she's up here twerking and dancing, doing all this other shit in her videos. But if you're on a dead man's profile, that means you can't do no kind of crazy body movement. You can't do nothing but just sit there, wasting space. I've seen many soldiers do that in the military.
I'm not married. I don't have no kids, so I do not receive BAH. My paychecks.
BAH is basic allowance for housing. So soldiers that are married, that have dependents, daughter, children, husband or wife, depending on if you're a man or a woman. Nowadays, you can have man and woman, I suppose. But or your NCO, single NCOs, you can live off post. You have the option because you are a higher rank. So therefore, they try to separate you from the rest of the Joes to keep, the whole, I forgot what it's called, the fraternization, keep it, at a minimum to nothing. But they normally the barracks are for the soldiers.
Are $1,066 every 2 weeks.
And it's crazy too. She gets $1,066 every 2 weeks. When I came in back in '97, me as private pay, I think I was making like 600 something every 2 weeks, and then with my airborne pay, I was making an additional 150, so roughly 1,200 plus an additional 150. And I lived in the barracks up until I got married when I was an E4 specialist. Then I moved to Hawaii, and yeah. But once you start making rank, you make more money. But this day and age, these soldiers make a lot of money for being a private, and that's at private pay. So that's not bad for privates these days.
Don't even cover my rent because my rent is $1,500.
Because you're not supposed to be using that for rent. You're not supposed to be living in the barracks. That's the thing. The 1,066 every 2 weeks. She's supposed to be in the barracks living. She won't have to worry about no bills. She don't pay a light bill. She doesn't pay electricity. You live in the barracks. Even the meals were normally free. I think they started making her pay like $200 a month. They take it out your check $200 a month for the chow hall access. But still, that's stuff you don't have to worry about. But she's choosing to live off post because she wants her privacy. So therefore, she has to fork money out of her pocket because she's not authorized BAH. But her way around that is, again, social media. OF, TikTok, and all the other bullshit.
Paid on the first of this month. Guess what? I'm not tripping. I mean, of course, I'm going to finance to get my stuff worked out, but I'm not tripping. People say so many negative things about me, about decisions that I've made in the military, about things that I've done in the military. But at the end of the day, I'm good. I don't have no debt. No debt. My car is paid off. I have an 800 credit score. I've been able to stay in an apartment without receiving any BAH at the lowest rank in the military comfortably for a year. I've been staying there for a year. I just renewed my lease. And I have enough money in my savings account that'll last me at least 2 years. Like
I said, they prioritize social media and everything else before the military. So why do you even join? That's the thing. Why do you even join?
This is how much I have made from social media this month so far. I know companies be trying to lowball, so I'm going to tell y'all what I do to make sure I'm getting paid. Number one.
But she makes a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. Like,
much I have made from
that's more than the average person makes as a civilian. This amount right here, that's more than what I would say an officer, probably like a 03 captain, an 04 major with BAH. So she's making a lot of money on social media, whatever she's doing. Obviously knows she's doing OF, like I said. But things like this, it makes other people outside the military come in so they can be able to put the uniform on, do the same exact thing as she's doing. There's a lot of people on TikTok and social media doing this right now. And it's bringing the morale and the esprit de corps down in the military all around. Okay, copyright. See, but this is stuff that she does. And this is light compared to what's been posted. So it's crazy. I want to see what these comments got to say. Oh, so you're the one they talk about. See, she's known. I'm not gonna lie, this shit's too funny. Yasmin don't give a fuck at all. To let y'all know. Exactly, for real. Bro, I don't even blame you. I hate this organization so bad. See, this thing is, they talk bad about it. Social media wasn't really a thing when I was in. social media become a big thing until I think after my second deployment to Iraq. We came back at the at the end of 06, and then the whole Facebook and other stuff started blowing up, and we were told certain things we can and cannot do. Don't have your uniform on. Don't do this. Don't do that. If you're gonna have a uniform on, have your rank off. Have your patches off so they won't distinguish to determine what unit you're in. They don't care. They do whatever they want, and they don't care. Oh, give me Article 15. That's fine. Bust me down. That's fine. I'm gonna make this $3,000, $4,000, $8,000 a month. I don't care. So that's their mentality these days. They just don't care anymore in the military.
What?
Damn, there's another copyright. But yeah, this is the Army, the APFU, Army Physical Fitness Uniform, right? The shirt at least. And this is what they do. See? No respect for the uniform anymore. We've fallen so far as a country. Oh, damn, another one. But yeah. This is the military for you. This is the Army as of today. And the thing is, everyone around the world can see this type of stuff on social media. Like, oh, the Army's a joke. The Air Force is a joke. Navy, Marines are a joke. I wouldn't say necessarily Marines, because Marines I respect those guys. They're like, they don't let this shit happen. They nip it in the bud as soon as possible. But the Army is kinder, gentler Army these days. We got the whole transgender thing going on. We got like same-sex marriages going on in the military. It's like the Army just don't care. It's the punching bag of the U.S. military right now. The joke. And this is what we do in the military. But yeah, y'all come from that video also. See? She's known apparently. A, protect us. Y'all care too much about the Army for me. Mind y'all, she's been trying to leave. Leave her alone. Thank you for your service, ma'am. It's giving Sergeant Collins all over again. Go live your life. And these are young people thinking this stuff. There's no sense of pride in the military anymore. That's the bad thing about it. Then people, you come in all you want. Oh, you a hater, you this, you that. I served my country 20 years wearing the military Army uniform. And I know people personally that have died, didn't come home, but wearing this uniform. But people like her could just wear it so easily, just disrespect it, don't care whatsoever, and then laugh in our faces about it. These are the same type of people that have burned the flag. They just don't care. Talk bad about the military service, they don't care. But I don't know, y'all veterans out there, how y'all feel about this? People who are currently serving, how you feel about this? Do you care even? I'd like to know. Let me know your thoughts about stuff like this. Comment down below, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Give me a thumbs up. I'll catch you next video. Peace.